Lewis Hamilton delights in Brazilian Grand Prix challenge, but should F1 return to dangerous Sao Paulo? It felt reminiscent of my karting days when I always started at the back. That was the message that a beaming Lewis Hamilton delivered after finishing fourth in Sunday's Brazilian Grand Prix. The Mercedes driver had more than enough pace to win the race, and on 364 out of 365 days a year he normally would do so, but the recently crowned world champion missed out on a podium finish at Interlagos on Sunday after a crash in Saturday qualifying forced him to start from the pit lane. What followed was a brilliant through-the-field drive, initially aided by a first-lap safety car, and after just 21 laps he found himself on the tail of the top four. The four-time world champion was delighted with his day's work, with his happiness on a par to that of the race winner Sebastian Vettel, even though he missed out on the podium. He was not the only driver in such a mood, either, as Felipe Massa bowed out of his final Brazilian Grand Prix by claiming 7th in front of his home fans, while a race-long duel with Fernando Alonso warmed the Spaniard even if he was left truing the Honda power unit that his team will soon discard for good. Read more. Hamilton's Mercedes team held up at gunpoint on eve of Brazil GP. The Grand Prix proved that the key to exciting races is not always due to aerodynamics, tire size, budget caps and all the other confusing factors that go into Formula One, but simply a good racetrack. Interlagos has proven its worth as a circuit built for excitement, no matter what the weather, as the long run from the final corner to the Senna S's and the ensuing run to turn 4 provide ample overtaking territory, while the infield section has all the tests needed to keep drivers on their toes for 71 grueling laps. It may not have the speed of Monza, or the dangers of Spa-Francorchamps, but Interlagos holds a precious place in motorsport history. The problem is that it may now be history where it belongs. Over the course of the weekend, both Mercedes and Sauber team vehicles that were carrying staff away from the circuit were targeted by gunmen in attempted robberies. In the case of Hamilton's Mercedes team, one member had a gun pressed to his head, and the occupants of the car having their personal belongings and passports stolen. Once the team had flown new documents out to Brazil, those team members left a day earlier than scheduled after Sunday's Grand Prix. As well as the two teams, both the FIA and tire suppliers Pirelli were targeted. If the governing body were not aware of the dangers that lie outside of the circuit walls before, having a gun tapped on their minivan's window should do the trick. Getty. Pirelli have now cancelled this week's testing with McLaren due to safety fears, preventing rising British talent Lando Norris of a second run out behind the wheel of the MCL32 this year. Following a robbery attempt, neutralized by Pirelli security, on a Pirelli van at the Interlagos circuit last Sunday after a weekend where similar episodes occurred with other teams, it has been decided to cancel the tire test planned on Tuesday 14 and Wednesday 15 on the Brazilian circuit with McLaren, a Pirelli statement read. The decision, shared with McLaren, FIA and Formula One, was made in the interest of the safety of the personnel, both McLaren's and our own, who would have participated in the test. Pirelli and McLaren scrapped a planned tire test in Brazil this week, Getty. There have been plenty of dangerous incidents in São Paulo in the past when F1 rolls into town, the most memorable of which coming in 2010 when Jenson Button and his late father, John, were approached by three men with machine guns in an attempted robbery. In fact, Hamilton claimed this weekend that there has been an example such as this in every one of his 11 visits to São Paulo since he first traveled there in 2007. The most frustrating thing is I've been in Formula One for 10 years and every single year that has happened to somebody in the paddock, and it continues to happen, Hamilton said. F1 2018 Grid 30 show all F1 2018 Grid 130 Mercedes Getty 230 confirmed, Lewis Hamilton Getty 330 confirmed, Valtteri Bottas Getty 430 Ferrari Getty 530 confirmed, Sebastian Vettel Getty 630 confirmed, Kimi Räikkönen Getty 730 Red Bull Getty 830 confirmed, Daniel Ricciardo Getty 930 confirmed, Max Verstappen Getty 1030 Force India Getty 1130 confirmed, Sergio Perez Getty 1230 confirmed, Esteban Ocon Getty 1330 Williams Getty 1430 confirmed, Lance Stroll Getty 1530 in contention, Daniel Kvyat Robert Kubica Paul di Resta to Getty 1630 Toro Rosso Getty 1730 in contention, Brendan Hartley Getty 1830 in contention, Pierre Gasly Getty 1930 Renault Getty 2030 confirmed, Nico Hülkenberg Getty 2130 confirmed, Carlos Sainz Getty 2230 Haas Getty 2330 confirmed, Kevin Magnussen Getty 2430 confirmed, Romain Grosjean Getty 2530 McLaren Getty 2630 confirmed, Fernando Alonso Getty 2730 confirmed, Stoffel van Dorn Getty 2830 Sauber Getty 2930 in contention, Charles Leclerc Getty 3030 in contention, Antonio Giovinazzi Marcus Ericsson Pascal Wehrle in Getty. São Paulo has its own problems without F1. The United States Department of State has registered the city a critical threat location with an well number of rape cases, cargo thefts and robberies all rising over the last 3 years. Earlier this year, Brazilian authorities confirmed that homicide rates increased in the first 3 months of 2017 due to clashes between rival gangs, with 250 murders registered with the Public State Ministry, a 31.5% increase year-on-year. This paints a very bad image for F1. A sport doing its best to make itself as attractive as possible under new owners Liberty Media. If nothing is done about it, the result will be a driver or team strike, which will be nothing short of disastrous for Liberty and potentially antagonize the situation in São Paulo even more. Clearly, F1 needs to step in and do something about the issue, and if that is to drop Brazil from the calendar until adequate security can be delivered, even if it is an extreme measure, then so be it. More about Formula One Brazilian Grand Prix São Paulo Pirelli Lewis Hamilton.